Okay. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get to the Nightmare of Mensis. It's not very hard, because you should already be there once you defeat the One Reborn. So, you run in here, and you inspect the mummy. The mummy is actually Mikolash. You'll find him later. And now, we're back in the lecture building. If you had gotten the tonsil stone and gone through everything in the other lecture building, this place will be pretty familiar to you. Still holds all these slime guys. They're incredibly easy to kill. Anywho, you're gonna want to go this way. So climb through here. Good door. If you remember, if you've been here before, you'll remember that room being a total hell. You'll wander about on your path. Kill another slime dude with his stretchy arm. Oh, that's weird. You can read this note. Master Willem was right. Evolution without courage will be the ruin of our race. You'll find the all too familiar science experiment lab. And more slime. Oh boy. We'll be back there in a second. We're gonna go this way. Grab your bloodstone chunk. Walk back. And now, you're gonna want to fight this executioner. Flaming hands. You did a full 180 before attacking. Oh. Well, there's that. I'll go back to fighting him in a second. This is important. You can talk to Patches now.
Oh, this cannot be. You cannot be. How did this come to pass? Now, wait just a moment. Do you think ill of me? Oh, it pains me to hear it. You've made yourself a misreckoning. I shared with you a thing most secret. Now, you're witness to a miracle. And all, it's plain as a pikestaff. Now, say in my heart, you were as a lamb to my God. Well, you weren't to know, and it wasn't for you to know.
Anywho, you can talk to Patches, who, if you were in the old Nightmare Frontier, pushed you into a lake of poison. So you can decide to kill him or not.
No matter.
If you
Such
don't,
details are
he'll give you a rune, I think, and the Beg for Life. The Beg for Life emote. If you kill him, he drops a Great One's Wisdom, which will grant you 2 insight. I don't honestly know how to open this trapdoor. I think you need a certain amount of insight to do it. Because I remember the first time being here, I didn't have enough. It wasn't open, as far as I know. I could have just been blind, but if someone could give me some concrete data on that, I'd really appreciate it. Anywho, next, after doing that, you're going to want to open door to outside. Which will take you to a new part of the nightmare. The Nightmare of Mensis. More like this load screen is a nightmare. You don't know how many times I've had to look at this load screen. How many hours I've wasted looking at it. Going to these nightmare areas is great for getting insight because honestly, every time you discover it, you gain one. And there are a lot of opportunities to gain insight in them. Anywho. Make sure to backstab that guy back there or else something bad will happen. You'll probably die. Do you see that light up there? That's bad. When you hide behind... Oh, see that frenzy? That little spear? That's what causes it. So if you're not careful, your frenzy meter will go up. And you'll inevitably die. Anywho, the best way to get through this area is to simply sprint. Ignore all enemies. And try to get behind this wall as quick as possible because that's where the frenzy stops. So once you reach this part, you'll probably be pretty safe, but I mean these giant rock throwing dudes are incredibly dangerous. They can one-shot you pretty easily. So, at least with their rocks, with their melee attacks, it's not quite so hardcore. Anyway, once you're in here, they'll run away, but you'll see a gigantic spider. Honestly, I've never fought the spider, and I never want to, because that thing hurts. If you're not interested in PvP, the Bell Maiden is right there. That's the one that rings the sinister bell. She guards a kin called Blood. I really like PvP, so I'm holding on to her for right now. Anywho, you'll get a couple of spiders. Okay, so the best idea here would just simply be run for it. And by run for it, I mean head here, because otherwise you'll probably get swarmed. Anywho, if you do manage to catch that roll right there, you'll notice that you'll be out of range before the spiders will aggro against you, so... Oh! Yep, and they will, they'll probably not be able to find you. So that's great. Shoo! Shoo! Okay, sorry about that. Next, you're gonna notice this guy. This guy is a pain. So, If you don't feel like fighting him, you don't necessarily have to. He attacks pretty quickly, so it's pretty hard to hit him with a visceral, but take him down. Or the best idea would be to simply run past him. There's a chest to the left, but head to the right, because there's a stairway down here. And you'll be able to unlock this lift right here, which will take you back down to the area you were just in. Technically, you'll be in a different area, but it'll have a lamp right next to it, and you're gonna love this lamp because it'll make your life pretty darn easy. Because it connects to all of the shortcuts in this area called Murdo's Loft. Anywho, if you run past him, you can probably come back up here, grab the chest. You'll get yellow backbone, which is important for chalice rituals. Not important, but I mean, it'll give you stuff at least. It'll make the dungeon harder in some cases. I can't remember exactly what it makes harder, but it'll strengthen one of the NPCs in there. Maybe the Watchers or the something. Blue elixir. You can choose to jump down here. It's not a great idea because this guy's actually kind of dangerous. Wow, that was... Wow, I can't dodge apparently. Careful when you aggro this guy because a couple of the munchkins will start attacking you. They're not incredibly dangerous, but they will push you off a cliff if they get the chance. So just sort of run past them. Run past everything. That's probably your best bet. They all do rapid poison buildup damage. So if you don't feel like dealing with them, run past them just like everything in this game. After that, you'll be up here with one of those. This is a nightmare. So you're gonna have dogs with crow heads and crows with dog heads. Incredibly creepy. You'll notice there's an item in there, but honestly, before you do that, I would really suggest grabbing this cage first. This leads you back down to that bonfire I was just telling you about. Because parts of this area are just the death trap. This whole nightmare, all nightmare areas are death traps. So keep that in mind. I believe there's a bloodstone chunk down there, but it's guarded by two dogs. Wow, that was whoops. You can apparently roll in here, but since there's an enemy, I would suggest jump attack. That generally gets me over. Okay. Now, for this part. This is Mikolash, host of the nightmare. He's kinda typical. He's just a human, he's not very, he's not even a very good boss, to be certain. Anyway, this is Nikolash's fight. The first part's pretty simple. He'll just use his auger of every ACOS to attack you. Plus, you've got those two puppets. The puppets are bad because they deal a lot of damage, and it's impossible to gain health back from them since they don't bleed. Allegedly. They'll also come back to life, so not an incredibly sound decision to just fight them. But if they're causing you trouble, just kill him first and then focus on Mikolash, because he won't honestly attack you unless you get close to him with his little auger. It does a lot of damage though, so be careful about that. Kill him.
Oh, majestic! A hunter is a hunter, even in a dream. But alas, not too fast. Nightmares, woes, chills.
Left down the stairs will lead to the upgraded Moon rune, which will further increase the amount of black echoes you gain. Up will lead you to the Shinzen area. So towards Mikolash again. Good thing that body had 8 blood vials on it, alright? Mikolash is up there, but you don't really want to go that way. You actually want to head down here. Yeah, you're going to want to head down here first. Because there's an item here that'll make your life great. Iron door key. I'll show you what that opens later. And you'll probably be pretty happy that I did. Anywho. Mr. Mikolash is just the so, chase him. Try to get in front of him so you don't have to deal with chasing him all the time. Wow. If he starts using that little ball thing, you're gonna wanna... The best way to deal with that is to actually step into it. Otherwise, it'll probably hit you, and you'll get really hurt. But try to stay generally close to him so he doesn't have a chance to use it. He just uses some ridiculous. He just tries to hit you with his hands, and he tries to use his little auger. There we go.
Now I'm waking up! I'll forget everything!
Well, I mean, you can't wake up since you're dead, bruh. But, no worries. Unfortunately, he drops the Mensis cage literally every time, so now I have fucking 4 of these things. I don't know what they do. If the Crown of Illusions is any indication, then maybe they'll open up some secret, but I have a huge doubt about that. So, I'm sure we'll find out in the coming months as this game gets more and more explored. However, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, will be released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One this coming, well, April, so in the next week, to be certain. So I don't know how much that'll affect the exploration in Bloodborne, but I'm hoping it won't affect it too much. People who are bored with Dark Souls will hopefully not play around. Anyway, to get out of here, you're gonna want to head up the stairs, to the left, up the stairs, to the right. If you close the door on you, you'll actually head up here first and grab the Bloodstone chunk, and then you'll want to drop down on him so he runs into the room. Anywho. You run across here, grab the lamp. And I'll continue on in a moment. Okay? And here we go. Part 2 of Nightmare of Mensis. I'm going to be showing you a couple things. The first being these Bloodstone chunks. The second being this elevator. This elevator leads down here, but the most important thing is that window right there. Obviously, since this door is broken, you can actually jump onto it. Harder, easier said than done, unfortunately, but just unlock it for the time being. It's easier if you do it from below, but that's a time sponge, so. Wait for it. Jump. I usually use jumping attack. Anyway, once you get here, you're gonna want to equip your highest frenzy-resistant clothing. Grab the inflicted organ, and you'll notice the brain creatures, the frenzy brains. Now I'm actually hiding back here because they patrol, and the best tactic to get through this place alive is simply run. There's no point to kill them besides the fact that you're going to die. So wait till he's a good distance away and just run for it. He won't chase you very long. You'll get induced with frenzy, so just heal up. And then you're going to have 2 more over here. Now the key here is to not get attacked. Run this way, run in between here, run this way, and get through. And then you're done. You're going to get hit with frenzy, so make sure you keep running, ignore the spiders. Heal up as soon as you feel you're safe. And then pull this lever. This lever will make your life perfect. If you guys have played Demon Souls before, this will actually be a little familiar to the what happened in Tower of Latria. If you made it to the second area, you had to also drop something similar to the stillbirth brain. Anywho, now that you're down here, that chest contains the choir bell, but unfortunately there is a brain guarding it. So I don't suggest trying to get it in all honesty, but there are ways to do it. I managed to do it, but it's incredibly difficult. So be very careful, carry sedatives, try not to die. Anywho, this is the place that the eye was hanging. If you remember, actually, this building is exactly the same. If you look down there, you can actually see the bridge, and if you notice, this is eerily similar to the building that was glowing, causing you to frenzy down in the earlier level. So you just actually got revenge for all of the sadness that thing gave you. If you notice, there are spears sticking out of these guys. Apparently, that is exactly what happens to us when we're dealing with these frenzy bastards. So that's a cool little tidbit. If you have the iron door key, I said it would make your life happy. You don't have to hit, yeah, it kinda does for right now. because you get to open this door. Unfortunately, if you open the door early, like immediately after beating Mikolash, that monster will still be there, and as you can see by the spears shoved into those people, you can get bled on that stretch towards the lever. So I've tried running it, I've tried running the gauntlet before, and it is simply impossible. The eye does more, it drains your health at the same time as building up your frenzy, so you have almost no chance of surviving, since it forces you into a walk every time you use sedatives or blood vials. It might have been viable had they done something about the sedatives slightly increasing your resistance to bleed, or at least, well, frenzy, or at least giving you a small amount of immunity time before it actually builds up again, but I found it nearly impossible to run through. I've made it to the very end of that bridge, but before I can even get into the door, I die of frenzy. So I don't suggest trying it, but you can if you'd like to. Actually, we're going down, because I'm going to show you what you should do now. So now you'll be back at the base of Murgo's Loft. Pull this lever because I want back the... what do you call it? And head this way. You'll be back here. But the key thing you're going to notice about this area now you're going to want to run around this way, is that there's a little cage here. So what you're going to end up doing is getting into it. And going down into the abyss. It's actually pretty cool to watch everything disappear up there as it fades. And then you're going to find the eye. Where's my note? Oh well. Anywho, once you see him, he's 100% killable, and he's 100% harmless. So whack away at him till he dies. Just use your best weapon. He's a damage soak though, so as it turns out, the heavy attacks don't do as much damage. Once you're done beating up that guy, you'll get the living string. Living string is important for special, what do you call it? Chalice dungeons. I really like the fact that blood rains from the sky after that. It's actually a nice touch. Anywho. You'll ascend into the sky again. Shoo! Shoo! And we're going to actually head back the way you came, because... Remember that cage we just took down there? We're going to use it again. So head back to the beginning. Grab the cage. Don't go back up just quite yet, because I failed to mention something extremely important beforehand. I forgot to mention that the eyeball head was actually guarding the only blood rock I've found in the game. It's right here. That is the only thing that'll bring your weapons to +10. So you're gonna want to grab that, and now you'll notice that you're back here. Unfortunately. So grab the elevator for the third time. Have no fear, there's actually a lever right here that will bring the thing back down. It doesn't really make any sense because it's not connected to anything, but that's not important. Okay, now that we've finally got that out of the way, we can take this back up here. Ignore the death trap entrance. And now we are ready to go fight Murgo's wet nurse. Normally when you appear here, you'll see two guys, there they are, and that guy with the fireball. You'll remember these guys because they're the Shadows of Yharnam. The extremely annoying boss fight you probably had trouble with. I don't think these guys really missed out their chance though. But they all have the same movesets. Besides all the snakes. Anywho, beat them up, grab your blood vials or quicksilver bullets. Head up here. Listen to Murgo crying again. Sneak up on a pig. Give it your 100% tested prostate exam. Take your blood vials. And then drop down here. I wouldn't suggest continuing forward because it leads to two pigs. And fighting two pigs at once isn't really fun. it never will be fun. You'll probably most definitely die unless you're lucky. So just head this way, grab your bloodstone chunk, crawling head. If you don't like PvP, there's the Bell Maiden. But besides that, we're around here, and wow, I'm probably gonna die. And kill these guys. I wonder if they disappear after, the Bell Maidens disappear after beat the boss. Anywho, don't underestimate these guys. Don't do what I'm doing and try to attack all 4 of them at once. You'll probably end up dying. Because they deal quite a bit of damage. And as you can see, I almost died. So just try and take them down one at a time. Don't get cocky. They will kill you. And then you can come back up here and beat this guy up. Well, here where things get a little bit easier. You can actually aggro one of the pigs at a time and kill them this way. That's a lot better. They'll give you a ton of souls. It's a great place to farm. And here you're gonna see Yarnum, the Blood Queen of the Old Labyrinth. She's actually the final boss in the game, if you play through the Chalice Dungeon. Anywho, this chest holds the Isofka's blood vial. So you can only hold up to one at a time, so if you have one, just use it or something. Unlock this elevator to make your life so much easier. Completely skip the area with the Shadows of Yarnum and the pigs and head straight to the boss fight. And then prepare yourself for what may be one of the hardest or one of the easiest boss fights you've ever encountered. I say one of the easiest because she's one of the few bosses that simply glitches for no apparent reason. Anywho, step towards the baby carriage. And now we're gonna fight the Snuffleup again. If you guys can hear this boss fight music, then just looking up, honestly, it's probably my favorite boss theme in this game. Oh, and also, a fun little tidbit, if you listen to the music, a little bit to the music box that you give to Father Gastion, well, not give to, but you can use against Father Gastion, it's actually this melody. Wow. If I had any that. Okay, when she does this, you're gonna want to run. Ignore the wet nurse and simply focus on trying to stay alive. Because you're gonna have 2 wet nurses on you at the same time. So your best bet is to simply just keep rolling. And just wait for it to end. And now you can focus. Now that it's ended, you can focus on the wet nurse again. And there you go. You should have defeated the technically final boss of the game. You're gonna have 1 or 2 more if you decide to refuse once you return to the Hunter's Dream after this. Nightmare Slain. You'll be granted another 1/3 of umbilical cord, and if you've been following this guide, you should have, I guess, 2. Yep, 2. Now that you've defeated Murgo, actually, if you've been following the guide, you should have 3 or 4 by now. Nope, just 3. Because I showed you where to get the one from the Hunter's Dream, the one from Isofka, and now Murgo's. The final one is for Ariana. And I'm actually going to go show you that one right now. I don't know when exactly it happens. It might happen as soon as you defeat Mikolash or Murgo's wet nurse, or it might be as soon as you enter the Nightmare of Mensis. So immediately after defeating the one reborn, you'll be able to head back to the Cathedral Ward as soon as this load screen ends. Oh shit. I guess I never got Ariana. Whatever. If you have Ariana at this point in time, you'll notice her chair is empty and there's blood splattered all over the floor. You can follow the blood splatters back towards Odin Tomb. And you'll slide down the ladder. And you'll find Ariana sitting in this chair. And there will be something sitting on the floor next to her. And that something on the floor actually holds the final umbilical cord maybe not the final umbilical cord, but one of the umbilical cords you'll probably be searching for to get the secret ending. Anywho, that's all for the Nightmare of Mensis guide. And I'll see you guys in New Game Plus.